something that you do. I'm saying as it is, just me and you. Why can't we spend this one night together? And hey, see, we both have this whole damn world to see. So baby, if this night is all we'll be, we should pretend we're in love.
So I've just got home from seeing Spider-Man Homecoming. Spider-Man has indeed returned to the Marvel Universe. There might be some mild spoilers in my review, so bear that in mind. Okay, so Spider-Man starring Tom Holland, Robert Downey Jr., Marissa Tomei, and of course the awesome Michael Keaton. Now, this movie was bloody entertaining. It was so good. I had a really good time with this one. It was a real return to form for the Spider-Man franchise. I have a massive love affair with the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans back in the day when the first one came out. That was fantastic. Spider-Man 2 for me was the pinnacle of superhero movies for a long time. It was the ultimate superhero movie. It was one of the best, if not the greatest Spider-Man movie today. Spider-Man 3, everyone knows about Spider-Man 3, and then it kind of killed the franchise. Then we've had the Andrew Garfield iterations, Amazing Spider-Man 2. I didn't mind these movies. They weren't great, but to me they weren't as good as the Maguire ones. But I enjoyed them. We're not really going to see where that trilogy was going to go. It kind of crashed and burned. Thus, here we are with the Holland era. Straight off the bat, you got to give Tom Holland some major props. This kid was awesome in this role. He was a fantastic Peter Parker, and he was an amazing Spider-Man. The emotional range this kid has, he can act, man. Not only can he flip and do jumps and spin around, like you've probably seen his Instagram videos, the guy's really athletic, but he's got the acting chops to pull it off too. The emotional scenes, fantastic. He has a lot of stuff with Robert Downey Jr. and those scenes are just phenomenal. They're really, really amazing work from Tom Holland. So to have the main character of the hero be this good is a really, really good sign. So well done, Marvel. Awesome casting there. Now, Robert Downey Jr.'s role in the film is not as big as some people were fearing it was going to be. Iron Man is in the movie, but not as much as you would think, or possibly hope if you're a massive Iron Man fan. I am, but he was just right in this role. He was more of a mentor figure for Peter Parker, coming in, helping out when he needed to, and progressing the plot where he needed to. But it was really nice to see him. And then there's the award-winning Marissa Tomei as Aunt May. She was great. She did the role. It's kind of weird seeing Aunt May much younger, almost sexy, so that was a little bit of an adjustment, but she was totally fine in the role, and she was there when needed. It wasn't a big role, wasn't a big part. She does get the final line in the movie, which it was pretty cool, but she was really good in the role. She was fine. And of course, you really cannot go past Michael Keaton, Batman, as the Vulture. It is about damn time that the MCU has got their villain absolutely on point. He nailed this role, man. Michael Keaton was so menacing as the Vulture. It was unreal. Vulture on page is an old guy in a weird jacket with a fluffy neck, and he's not a really particularly scary kind of villain, but Michael Keaton brought this gravitas to this role. This dude scared the bejesus out of nearly everyone in the audience. He was amazing. He was so full of anger and grit, and he was really good. So it was really awesome to see Michael Keaton back on the screen in a movie that I wanted to see. This is not an origin story. It kind of gets right into the Spider-Man as a kid trying to find his way in the world. It's not so much the origin as we see Peter get bit by the spider and he develops his powers. It's been done. Uncle Ben dies and discovers that with great power comes great responsibility. All that is not in this film. It's mentioned, it's alluded to, But this origin story, and it is an origin story of basically Peter Parker becoming Spider-Man. He's finding his feet as a hero. He's a young kid, he makes mistakes, he's floundering, he's making errors, he's cocky, he's trying to do the right thing, but he's not Spider-Man. It's basically Spider-Man Begins. So he's not where he needs to be yet, but he's finding his feet and his moral compass. So what Tom Holland does with this role was amazing. He's done really good at finding the center, the emotional core of Peter Parker, and nailing the confusion he has as Spider-Man and trying to just figure out how does he do things. Also really fun seeing Spider-Man out of his element. When he's in the city, in New York City, he's got all the buildings that he can swing from. But what happens to Spider-Man when he's in suburbia? There's no tall buildings. There's nothing massive for him to swing from. It's just suburbia, so he's got to kind of get by with the trees and from house to house and a lot of running. It was really funny and unique and different to see Spider-Man in this environment. And also it was really interesting to see Spider-Man when he gets to the Washington Monument, which you've seen in the trailer. His first time up a building that high actually freaks him out. He kind of almost has fear of heights, which is kind of ironic considering he's Spider-Man. So that was a nice little touch. Okay, so the movie is not perfect. There is not a lot. There's not a few niggly little things. It's nothing massively detrimental to the film. But it definitely is a Marvel formula, so it does at times feel really familiar. The movie is a hell of a lot of fun though, so you can forgive the formulaic I've been here before feeling that you might get in the movie. And also there is a direct lift from Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man movie, in regards to, this is where the spoilers might come in, so just be aware. The villain's relationship to Spider-Man is pretty much exactly the same as it was in Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire. I'm not going to say any further than that, but it was a little bit like, so going forward they're going to be able to, it's going to be tricky to avoid rehashing that if they should introduce Harry Osborn and the Green Goblin. So obviously they can go there many different ways, but it was just a thing that did kind of make me go, oh, that's a bit strange. And also there is a character reveal at the end, which I thought was a little bit strange because they have blatantly changed the character's name. I'm not going any further there either with that minor spoiler, but it was kind of a bit of a shock to me, and I don't know if I like it yet or not, but we'll see where that goes. So Spider-Man Homecoming was an absolute joy, much like Wonder Woman before. It was just an absolute blast to sit in the theatre and just be so wonderfully entertained by this bright, colourful, action, heroic, emotional superhero films. It was really quite enjoyable to be a part of that, to enjoy being in a theatre. So it's good to go in to Spider-Man Homecoming and just absolutely love it. It was great. Even from the opening Marvel logo and the theme song, they take the old Spider-Man theme song and just orchestrate the hell out of it, and it gave me tingles. It was fantastic. So Spider-Man Homecoming was an absolute awesome fun ride at the movies, and I cannot wait to be seeing this again on the Blu-ray format when it gets released. So definitely looking forward to seeing what they do with Spider-Man in the future, and really looking forward to seeing how he fits in with the Avengers in Infinity War. It's going to be a lot of fun. So with that, thanks for watching guys, and don't forget to subscribe if you like my silly little videos. It'd be really great to get a little following here on YouTube. So once again, thanks for watching, and talk to you soon.
Why can't we spend this one night together?